Nicola from Cognitive Sports Therapy, and in this session I'm going to talk to you specifically about maternal mental health. That is the mental well-being and mental health of new mums, okay? Now, when we talk about postpartum depression, we're talking about anything that can occur in the first year, okay? So often, postpartum depression, postnatal depression is thought to be perhaps instantaneous, and if you haven't felt it in the first couple of months, then you've escaped it. But actually, it can be, the symptoms can show anytime in that first year, and it could be an accumulation of situations, hormones, all sorts of different combinations of factors that can lead to postnatal depression developing. Okay, and it's been shown that more than 1 in 10 women do develop postnatal depression in that period. And a lot of us as mums will experience the baby blues. That's very common. But that's usually happens within the first 2 weeks, and those symptoms then do disperse. So the symptoms of baby blues might be being perhaps a little bit more tearful than usual, feeling sadness, feeling very emotional, okay? But that's to do with the event that your body's just gone through, the hormones racing around your body, sleeplessness. Obviously, your life has completely changed. So it's very understandable that you'd feel different in those first 2 weeks. When we start to worry about mums suffering from postnatal depression, it's when those symptoms develop and they get worse. And sometimes it can be really hard to recognise postnatal depression in yourself as a mum, because it can come on incredibly gradually and it can have many ups and downs, okay? So it's only really when the symptoms start to be consistent and present most days that it's important to seek help, okay? There is help available, absolutely. So some of the symptoms you might be confronted with is kind of perpetual sadness, feeling tearful, and that kind of being persistent and not easing, okay? A typical thing of all depression is lack of enjoyment. So being unable to enjoy the things you would normally do. Obviously, having a baby means that you can't enjoy some of the things that you used to do immediately. But depression gives you the sense that you don't want to even try, okay? So lack of enjoyment of what you normally would enjoy doing. Having very low energy. Okay, again, that's very part and parcel of having a new baby. But even perhaps after a decent night's sleep, how are you feeling? Are you feeling very lethargic, like you don't want to go out of the house, like you don't want to get off the couch? Those kind of things to look out for. Are you withdrawing from people? Are you trying to actually avoid social situations? Are you not answering the door when someone comes around? Is that becoming too much for you? Significant differences in yourself you might find are problems concentrating on small tasks. Another very common one is real anxiety about decision making. So making a decision about, do I go to the shop before I feed the baby, or when I come back, or when should I put the baby down to sleep? Where should I put the baby down to sleep? And some of those decisions might have nothing to do with your baby. It might be to do with what kind of cereal you buy, okay? I myself suffered from postnatal depression after my 4th baby. It was a combination of factors. Why didn't I suffer from postnatal depression with the first 3? Maybe I did and it wasn't recognised. Maybe it passed before it got too bad. I'm not sure, but with my 4th baby, I sought help. And I do remember one of the major considerations for me was that I didn't want to get out of bed. I could not decide over the easiest decisions. I was really, really irritable. And I remember my husband saying afterwards that for him, it was like walking on eggshells. He was worried about how I was going to react to everything because I was so on edge all the time. So lots of different factors why postnatal depression develops. It's not just hormonal. That is a factor, absolutely. But for example, in my case, my 4th baby had a tongue tie, which meant that he couldn't breastfeed very easily. And I was determined that he would breastfeed like my other babies. And I had so many decisions to make about bottle feed a little bit, nipple shields, should he have some formula, how often should I wake him in the night? It created a lot of anxiety, and I think that really pushed me towards postnatal depression. That's my individual case. But I guess what I'm saying is I'd like you to be aware of how you've changed, and perhaps talk to somebody very, very honestly about how they perceive you. If you're worried about yourself, ask that special person, somebody you trust, do you think I'm all right? Okay. Often it takes somebody looking in to make you realise that you're in that situation. So having said all of that, there is help available. Okay. So there's all sorts of different things that can help. Seeking help is the most important thing, though. So going to your GP. If your GP can't help you initially, they can refer you to somebody who can. All right. So reach out for that help. There's lots of things you can do for self-help, and perhaps that's how I staved off postnatal depression in my first three children. When I first had my first three babies, I recognised what I needed to make myself feel better. For me, getting out of the house for fresh air and exercise. I know it's cliche, but it's true. It was making warm baths, okay, a trashy magazine, things like that. Time for myself, time to go to the gym. All right, so find what you think you could do to help yourself. All right. On top of that, there are therapies available and specialists who can talk you through your anxieties and worries. Okay, and on top of that, there is medication. Okay, so I did take medication. I took antidepressants for 6 months, and that was all I needed for myself. Some people will be able to come off it earlier. Some mums will need it for a little bit longer. But the fear of taking antidepressants and being stuck on them for life should not be a factor in your decision making. It is possible to wean yourself off them gradually. That's the advice you'll be given. And there are many factors as to why you'll be ready for that. It could be that it is a better time of year for you. It's not the winter anymore. It's now become spring, summer, the days are longer. You've got all those factors to add into your well-being as well. Okay? But as we always say, exercise, fresh air are key things in helping support your mental health. Okay? Whether you are a new mum, whether you are retired, any stage in your life where you find yourself in a slightly different situation and perhaps it's hard to get your head around where you are, perhaps you're losing sight of yourself a little bit, carve out half an hour a day for a walk in the fresh air. All right. So as well as postpartum depression, postnatal depression, there is a slightly more serious version called postnatal psychosis. Now, this is more serious in that the person may become delusional, have hallucinations, and perhaps would become a risk to themselves or their baby. Now, this happens much less frequently, and perhaps 1 in 500 mothers, something like that. But the symptoms are really quite clear, and they happen quickly. So generally, postpartum psychosis happens within those first 2 weeks after birth, and they come on quite suddenly, okay? So again, maybe you can't recognise them in yourself, but somebody else will be able to. So hopefully you will have a partner, a family member, perhaps even another child who will be able to support you and get you help, okay? If there are symptoms of such, or if you know anybody who you are worried about, it is a medical emergency, okay? So do seek immediate medical help, whether that's calling your GP, calling 999. The most important thing is that people are safe. But as I said, that's far less frequent, all right? And with postnatal depression, there are so many different ways in which you can help yourself, but seek help if in doubt, all right? So one of the things I specialise in is outdoor group postnatal exercise. My other company being Buggy Boot Camp, several different locations around, but it's so wonderful to have a group of women outside Their babies are there with them, but that is time for them. Okay, so try and carve out time for yourself if you're a new mum. If you are not a new mum, try and support the new mum in your life by perhaps gifting them a membership for an outdoor fitness class, specifically for postnatal women, or take them out for a walk, make an appointment with them to get them out of the house. All right, you can push the baby, they can, nice and relaxed, swing their arms as they walk, point out the birds in the sky, the blossom on the trees, whatever it is, try and support them the best that you can. So, having said all that, if all you've got at home is your computer and a timer, I've got a little workout for you that I'm going to show you how easy it is just to get some movement into your day and how it can lift your mood, whatever situation you're in, whether you're a postnatal mum, whether you're a grandma helping looking after the baby, whatever it is, this is for you. So, what I want to show you here is on my phone here, I've got a timer, okay, and I'm going to take you through what we call a tabata round. Now, tabata is an exercise session where you do 20 seconds of work, rest for 10 seconds, and then you repeat that pattern 8 times, okay? So it's one exercise, 8 rounds for those intervals, all right? And you can do as many different exercises as you like. What I love about tabatas is that the time goes very quickly. You don't need to be in a full-on, oh, I really want to work out mode. You can be in, I really should do some exercise mode, and it just kind of sweeps you along. It's good to have a timer because it beeps at you, tells you when to start, stops you having to look at your clock or your watch, and it's really quite motivating actually. So if you want to just go straight into the workout, please do. If you want to pause, get yourself ready, go ahead and do that. If you want to add more exercises onto the end of the little video that I'm doing for you here, go ahead and do that too, okay? So I'm going to do perhaps 3 different exercises, but you can just continue and do however many sets you like, all right? So hopefully you'll be able to hear my beeper go ting ting. Our first exercise, as we're starting pretty much from scratch, we're going to do either a march on the spot for 20 seconds or a nice little jog on the spot for 20 seconds. Then we're going to rest for 10 seconds, do that 7 more times, okay? All right, so make sure you've got your trainers on and you've got some space around you. As soon as I press that button, it's going to tell us to start jogging or marching. Are you ready? Set, go! Okay, so 20 seconds here. Well done. So depending on how hard you want to work today, you can really go for it, up the intensity by moving faster, lifting your knees higher, or you can march just nice and gently. Tummy nice and tight, nice and upright. Well done, end of round 1. That was all right, wasn't it? Let's go see what's going to happen in round 7. Ready? Set up for round 2? Off we go. So we repeat the same exercise for 8 rounds. Lovely. So you might find as you start to warm up with each round that you want to work a little bit harder. Excellent. Tight tummy, keep breathing. Use the arms too. And rest, well done. So only 10 seconds transition. Then we're going to go again. Get ready. Off we go. So you don't have to be on the spot if you don't want to. You can go out and up and down the garden path if you want. You can come forward and backwards. Go around the island in the kitchen, whatever you've got. Lovely, resting. So yeah, use the space that you've got. If you do move, you use a few more calories, use a bit more energy rather than being on the spot. So you can off we go, you heard the beat. So yeah, your intensity can be increased by speed, lifting your knees higher and traveling with your movement. Well done. Lovely. And resting, good job, okay. We have 3 more rounds. Now a little bit warmer, perhaps we can ramp up the intensity. Off we go. Well done. Can we do faster feet? Can we use those arms a little bit more? Well done. forwards and backwards. Make sure we don't fall over anything. There we go, there's our beeper. So it's nice not having to look at your watch. It's nice to have someone to tell you when to start and stop, isn't it? Go, go, go! So like I said, after the 3 rounds that I do with you, please feel free to just carry on with your timer and do your own exercises. So you could be skipping, you could do some squats, some lunges, any of the exercise we've shown you previously. Oh, resting, well done. 20 seconds goes pretty quick, doesn't it? So you can make it about a workout as long as you like. 20 minutes, go, go, go! 45 minutes, depending what time you've got. As we always say at Cognitive Sports Therapy, any movement is better than none. And daily movement is so important for our physical and our mental health. So do the minimum if you have to. Resting, but do the minimum. All right, we've got one more round here, jogging. Lovely, step, touch, off we go. Well done. So let's go speed, speed, speed for the last few seconds. Whether you're marching or jogging. Go, go, go. All the way to the beat. Resting, lovely. There's your 8 rounds of jogging. So to keep it simple, we're going to stick with your classic movements. So we're going to do 8 rounds of squats now, okay? So we're going to vary the squats. So in each round, we're going to change our feet position perhaps. We can add a jump in if we want to. All right, and you can copy me if you want to, or you can stick with your version of a squat. Absolutely up to you. Now with a squat, remember, you're going to hinge at the hip first, stick your bottom back, and then bend your knees, okay? To keep your knees behind your toes. If we bend our knees first in a squat, we tend to go forward over our toes, and we really load these knee tendons here. Really not good for our knees. I felt it immediately just demonstrating how not to do it. So imagine if you do that lots and lots of times, if you do lots of squats with bad form, it's going to cause some damage, okay? So let's look after ourselves. All right, so hinging, bending the knees, trying to get our bottom all the way down to knee height. I'm going to start nice and wide if you want to join me. So nice wide start, sumo squat we call these. Toes are turned out so that your knees go out over your toes, okay? So your knees always want to track over your toes, whether you're wide or whether you're hip width, your knees go in the same direction as your toes. All right, so set yourselves up. If you want more intensity, you can have a weight. So you can have a kettlebell or a dumbbell, hold it to your chest. All right, that will increase the intensity, or speed up the movement. That will also increase the intensity, okay? So have your props handy if you want them. I'm going to press the button. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, off we go. So we are squatting here. Tummy's nice and tight, keeping your chest nice and upright. Wonderful. Well done. So if you want any more information on postnatal depression, postnatal psychosis, and how to seek help if you're worried about your resting there, if you're worried about helping somebody, or you're worried about yourself, you can go to the NHS website. There's plenty of websites to help you. Off we go, narrow stance this time. And obviously your first port of call will be your GP. Okay, and you don't assume that you'll be put straight onto medication if you're fearful of that for any reason. Just go and talk to somebody, see what your options are. Resting there. And as I said earlier, I'm going to go wide again. Antidepressants are not something to be frightened of. Ready, set, go. They really are not. They adjust the chemicals in your brain to help you cope with your new situation. It doesn't have to be a lifelong commitment that you're making. Lovely job, guys, well done. Lovely. And with most situations, coming narrow again, Talking helps, okay? Talking to somebody you trust helps you, everything. Helps you with the situation you're in, helps steer you in the right direction for help, makes you feel less alone. Being a new mum can be very isolating. So it's important to reach out and let people reach in. So accept offers of help. Resting there, well done. Accept those offers of help. Join the baby groups. Get yourself out there. Ready, set, go. Well done, guys. If you want to lift a heel each time, alternating heel lifts, that's quite a nice one to mix it up a little bit. Well done. Lovely. Excellent. Well done, excellent. Right, I might do some jumping ones this time. All right, so leaving the floor after each squat. Ready, set, go. Don't feel like you have to jump. I'm just showing you this as an option. You might want to do 2 or 3, and then come out of it. And as always, the team of Cognitive Sports Therapy, Dr. Claire, Lucy and myself, can always put together an exercise plan for you to help support you, get out of the house more, get more exercise into your life. Resting, also with talking therapies and breath work to help calm you in anxious situations. Off we go. So please be in touch if you think we can help you, whether it's postnatal depression or any other kind of low feelings that you might be having. We would love to hear from you and love to help you. Resting, well done. Got one more round. Oh, I might add a bit of weight to this last round. Challenge myself. Ready, set, off we go. Lovely. So by adding weight, you add intensity. Adding weight is also good for your bones, combating osteoporosis. Lovely. It also increases your fitness if you increase your weight gradually. Resting, lovely. Well done. That's the end of set number 2. Right. I'll pause that there. That's telling me it's definitely end of round 2. So the third round I'll take you through is going to be working on our balance and therefore working on core muscles with a little bit of upper body work going on as well. So if you've got a resistance band, fantastic. You can put one foot on the band, and the other foot's going to be hovering off the ground, challenge your balance. If you've got hand weights, stand in the same position, all right? So what we're going to do for the first one, we're going to curl our biceps, so bringing our hands all the way up to shoulders, hands all the way down to thigh, like so. So all the way up, all the way down, okay? The only thing that's moving is my elbow joint. Tight tummy, nice and straight through the body. If you want more of a challenge, you can add a leg lift to the side with each bicep curl. Right, that's rounds 1, 3, 5, and 7. Rounds 2, 4, rounds 2, 4, 6, and 8, you'll be standing on one leg, and you're going to bring the arms out to the side in the lateral raise, okay? Again, the only movement is through your shoulder. Body is rock solid. If you want to intensify it, lift that leg and up and out to the side. Challenges your balance, challenges your strength, okay? All right, so set yourselves up, hand weights or resistance band. First one is going to be one leg bicep curl. Are you ready? Set, off we go. Lovely. So this is also an example of a really nice gentle core exercise for new mums. So it's not your classic, is it? It's not a crunch, it's not a plank, but by challenging your balance, you are challenging your tummy muscles to keep you upright, to keep you standing tall. Lovely. Switch legs. I'm going to switch to a lateral raise. Round 2. Ready, set, off we go. Lovely. So yes, this simple movement here works your abdominals. As you lift your arms up, your body wants to fold forward, but by tightening your tummy muscles nice and tight, you are using them to keep you nice and upright. Lovely. Grab that leg in. if you want to, this round or the next. Excellent, resting there. We're switching again, we've got bicep curls. Lovely. Well done. If standing on one leg, off we go. If standing on one leg is distracting you from the bicep curl, you may absolutely stand with both feet flat, okay? Absolutely up to you. You may want to do one arm at a time and hold on to a chair, resting there, or a wall, so that you're not wobbling quite so much. But it's really good to get those tummy muscles working and lower back muscles working if you can. And standing on one leg does that. Well done, guys. Nice alternating through these upper body movements. So this is the last set of tabata that I'm going to run through with you. So please feel free to keep that timer pinging away and lovely, rest there. And do the next set with your own exercise, maybe lunges or maybe jumping jacks. And off we go, bicep curl. Whatever you think. And if you want any more ideas of what exercises you could use, just have a flick back through our previous videos and the kind of things that we do. And you can adjust the intensity for what you need it for. Because just moving is good. If this is all you're going to do, and resting, if this is all you're going to do today, well done you. It all counts. All right, lateral raise. Let's try and add the legs, shall we? Off we go. So your arms are straight with a very slight bend in the elbow. So basically your arms are not locked out. Your standing leg has a slight bend at the knee. Both glutes are working hard here. Standing leg to support you. The leg that's lifting out to the side, resting, is working hard to lift the weight of the leg there. Really well done. All right, so our last bicep curl interval. So I'm nice and strong. Let's do a little shorter, little pulse movements this time. So rather than the whole movement all the way up to your shoulder and all the way down to your thigh, just do little shorter pulse movements here, like so. If you want to add the leg in, please do. It sends you a little bit off balance, but that's what we're trying to counteract. Beautiful. And resting. Right, little pulses with the lateral raise too. This is going to be quite tough. This is the last round though, guys, so do your best. Lift and then little pulses here. Try not to let those handles pull you down to the ground. Again, you can add the little leg lift if you want that extra challenge. Tight tummy, keep breathing. Well done. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Push, resting there. Fantastic, well done, guys. Now, if you want to carry on your work, then please pause the video and then join me after you finish for the cool down. I just want to take you through a couple of stretches if that's what you are happy with having done today. So really well done. Let's stretch the back of our hamstrings. So one foot in front of the other, hinge at the hip, push your weight into that back leg. And as you do so, this front leg will straighten. Bring that toe up towards you. I feel a nice stretch in the back of your hamstring, back of your knee into your calf there as well. Lovely. Tummy muscles are pulled in tight, your back nice and straight. Try not to drop your head down. Try and keep your chest open. Get lots of air in after that work. Lovely. And switch legs. Well done. So as always, please ask any questions that you may have. If you want more details about postpartum depression, postnatal depression, what it is, are there any ways that we can potentially avoid it? What are the warning signs that you might be predisposed to it? Anything like that, please do be in touch and we can talk you through it all, okay? Lovely, well done. Standing on one leg, you're gonna grab the toes or the back of the shoe or the back of your trousers in one hand and squeeze that hip in towards your bottom. Keeping your knees together and pushing that hip forward slightly. Lovely. So from the side, it'll look like so. Squeeze that heel in. Lovely. Should be nice and neutral, tummy in tight. Emphasize the stretch in the front of that leg there, front of the top of the leg in the quad. Lovely, I switch legs. Well done. Excellent. So remember, tabata, 20 seconds on, 10-second rest for 8 rounds. And it can be any exercise you like. Well done. And release there. Let's just stretch a little bit through our upper body. So stand your feet hip width apart, knees slightly bent. Bring one arm all the way across your chest. Squeeze that in and around. So it's a really active stretch, but you're pulling your shoulder out. Try not to twist through the waist. Make sure your hips are facing forward, chest is facing forward, and you're pulling that arm around. And again, make sure that your shoulder doesn't rise up. Keep it down, away from your ear. Lovely. And switch arms. Wonderful. Lovely. And release. Nice wide stance. Big breath in. And out. Big breath in. And out. And last one. Big breath in. And out. And thank you so much for joining me. And as I said, please send any questions our way. Lucy, Dr. Claire, and myself are very happy to help you.